hanging out in my little hammock on a Friday morning, I decided to come on live and share this beautiful, magical, raw, wild area with you, and to give you a message about this new project I've been working on and what it's been teaching me. And it really has been a very magical journey to be working with a special friend of mine that I've waited a long time to actually get to know and work with. Ironically, a long time. Her name is Diana Similidis, and she is a yogi and a professional dancer, and also a dance pioneer, I call it. She's developed her own form of dance called Inco dance, and we've spent a while getting to know each other, really figuring out the synergies between us, and it started kind of arriving into me this really interesting realization, and that I wanted to share with you to watch in your own life, how to work more with subtle energies. And by this I mean looking at ways that you can tune in to the intuitive sense you have of yourself and your life. And there are very interesting ways that we can experience this world, this magical thing we call reality. You know, some people say we create our reality, and we are creating reality every single second from what we have programmed at the back of the brain. We have the reptilian brain, and we have a lot of conditioning that sort of stops us from seeing things as they really are up here in the front of the brain, and even an ego that sort of prevents things filtering in, you know. So we tend to filter out a lot of things that we don't necessarily feel serves us or is convenient for us often. And so we can end up with a very distorted view of reality. And so when you start working with more subtle energies, or you start going into these 3 tips I'm going to give you today, you might find that you can actually have a much more honest and much more sensitive experience in the world. And there's also a way where you really can tap into these subtler energies. So let's start off with the first one. The first one is to really work with your senses. Now, a lot of Buddhism teaches that the senses are a distraction to meditation, and that's why there's a lot of focus on the real traditional types of meditation, at least, on calming the senses. That's what it means to empty the mind, receiving thoughts, sounds, and sight. So you close the eyes so that you don't have to get distracted. And then, of course, you have ways of being able to really still your mind. The same thing can happen years later, where you're receiving information through the senses, but because you've cleaned the mind, the senses begin to receive much subtler levels of reality. And so if this is something that interests you, it's a really great idea to start finding a really great meditation teacher and start learning how to quieten the mind, switch off the senses for periods of time, and then learn how to come back in sensing much subtler sounds, looking and realizing certain things when you're perceiving, and then also sensitive to touch, to smell, and especially to specific kinds of realizations that then can come to you in a different way. Another way to work more with subtler energies is quite simply to be with the elements. And that's why I thought I would come on here now today, because I am here with the wind picking up right now. And if I really tune into that wind, I start to use my subtler senses to feel the sound of the wind and to tune in, to align with the sense of the elements, right? So now the elements are a very beautiful way for us to tune in to the whole profound orchestra of nature. Some of you have seen some of my drum videos. If you haven't, go ahead and have a look at the viral video with Daniela what this channel really became about, was tuning in and learning to connect with someone's rhythm on their drum and being able to kind of intuitively contribute to that. Thank you to all the people on the live here. The neighbor 420, you seem to be very active on 3 different devices. Good for you. Whatever floats your boat. And then Robert Lozon, nice to have you here too. So when we're working with these subtler energies in the elements, we can begin to listen to the wind. And did you know that there were actually tribes, indigenous knowledge systems, that would learn about the forces of nature and would actually shamanically influence the forces of nature? And we've lost that art, although there are some people that still work in this way, but very hard to find. You too can learn to tune in to fire, for example, and really cleanse a lot of very old karmic wounds, even current struggles and suffering you're having in your life. But also using the sight, you can see the light dancing on the waves of the sea, or the light moving through the water of a pond, and you can get very specific sensations from this subtler energy. I've even practiced certain techniques. If you'd like to learn more about them, you can get on a call with me or get on a session, and I will teach you these subtler realms of perception that are really kind of energy work in many ways, but there are ways to commune with the elements in order to receive the knowledge and wisdom they have to share. So you can ask the truth from the fire. You can listen to what the wind is telling you. You can tune into specific levels of touch and experience certain things through touch that are impossible to understand with your natural mind. So that's the elements, my second tip to you. And my third tip is quite simply what's come out of the work with my friend Diana that I've been sharing with you about at the beginning of this video, which is a very beautiful piece of work called Sky Dancer. And it was based really on this idea that the sky itself is a transmission. There are many amazing things sitting above us that we can only perceive through the sky, that we actually connect with through the sky. And there are subtler levels of energy when we tune into the sky. So one simple technique is really just to watch the clouds and really let your mind drift, go into a dream state and just be with the clouds. I don't know if you've done that since you became an adult. When we were kids we would do that, but now I'm suggesting you do it when you are older and more conscious, and you get a sense of the altered state of awareness that can come about from looking at the sky. There are many other ways to use the sky, and I will be teaching some of them in my new project called AHAintelligence, which is a sacred offering, a sacred mission workshop that uses the elements in different ways and actually helps you tune in, meditate, and really merge with this orchestra of nature, and then to be able to feel this deep sensing within your own body. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button and share it with a friend. I'll be doing some impromptu lives like this one that help deepen your experience of your own energy field, and I wish you all the best for the months to come and for this amazing epic journey we're all on together. Thank you so much.